Welcome to the Oracle Business Intelligence video in our FlexDeploy learning series. If you haven't already, I suggest you watch our FlexDeploy overview video, which can be found on the videos page of our website. In this video, we will explore FlexDeploy's comprehensive support for managing the build, deploy, and testing lifecycle for OBI, including both web catalog objects and RPD files. Let's dive in and start by taking a look at a build workflow for OBI. Plugins are the powerhouse of FlexDeploy, and plugin operations are used within workflows to design the build and deploy processes that meet your needs. With these workflows, you eliminate the scripting and manual activities associated with deploying the RPD and web catalog objects, and instead create repeatable and reusable processes that automate these activities. Here you can see the Oracle BI plugin and its operations. This build workflow is responsible for packaging up the BI objects and producing an artifact, which will later be deployed using a deploy workflow. The build operation sources these files directly from Oracle BI or from a predefined source control management tool such as Git or Subversion. Web catalog objects can be exported at the object or folder level, and both full builds and partial builds are supported. The build operation has multiple inputs. Should object permissions be exported along with the object itself? Should objects be exported recursively? And should folders be exported recursively? Now let's look at the corresponding OBI deploy workflow. The deploy workflow takes the artifact produced from a build and deploys its objects into a target environment's web catalog or directly to the server. This operation has three inputs, one for importing with exported permissions, another for overwriting content if the content already exists in the target environment's web catalog, and lastly, an optional configuration for property replacement on the RPD. The example build and deploy workflows are using out-of-the-box plugins and workflow operations, and no custom scripting was required. Now let's go look at a project which I have created for building and deploying objects. As you can see, this RPD has been deployed across three environments. These environments could be on-premises, in the cloud, or a hybrid of the two. FlexDeploy provides a clear snapshot of what object versions are deployed to which environments and makes syncing environments a breeze. On the Configuration tab, you can see that I have configured a source control management system type, which for this example is Subversion. The source configuration identifies the SCM instance, which contains connection information for my Subversion repository, and the location of the source code within that repository. Next, I associated the build and deploy workflows we reviewed earlier and the BI instance where we will build and deploy. Now that everything is set up, we can perform a build and deploy of the BI app. Executing the process is very simple and completely automated by the plugin operations. Using the Continuous Integration tab at the project level, you can schedule builds and deploys to run during a window at a defined interval, or you can schedule a deploy immediately after a build. In this case, we'll do an on-demand build and then deploy the application. Since everything has already been configured, doing a build is as simple as clicking a button. While this build is running, we can look at the workflow execution details and see the workflow in action. You can see that it is working through the predefined steps of our workflow. Now that it has completed, we can go back to the project screen. I will manually submit a deployment to the development environment. Notice the default version is the latest build, however we could select a previously built version as needed. FlexDeploy stores all previously built artifacts in the FlexDeploy artifact repository. This allows easy deployment of a previous build to back out any unplanned issues in a test or production environment. The deployments are configurable by environment, application, and project, and similar to builds, include flexible options related to scheduling, approvals, and notifications. While the deployment is executing, let's head over to the dashboard to see the visibility you get with FlexDeploy. The dashboard provides real-time visibility and can be filtered by environment, application, or project. The current activities include the BI project deployment to the development environment. You can drill into those projects to investigate problems such as long-running builds, deploys, or tests, and troubleshoot as needed. In addition to insight to current activities, you also have access to historical data and test results. As we go back to see the status of the deployment, you will notice it has completed to the development environment successfully. You just saw how FlexDeploy creates automated and repeatable processes for moving BI objects across environments. FlexDeploy helps put the focus on delivering solutions, increasing speed and quality, and lowering the cost and risk of software delivery. For more information or to request a demo, go to flexagon.com/FlexDeploy.